Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Malcolm Lewis, Harvey Mudd Class of '67, and Chair of the HMC Board of Trustees. Welcome to the 54th Annual Commencement Ceremony of Harvey Mudd College, which is now in session. Please remain standing for the national anthem sung by seniors Aaron Gable, Steve Matsumoto, Eric Mullen, and Paul Riggins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, the brave.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The ceremony this afternoon honors the students who have successfully completed a rigorous program of academic study as required by the faculty of the college. Before that, however, the graduates-to-be should recognize and honor the family and friends who have come here to share this day with them. So I ask the graduates to rise and turn to you with a standing ovation in appreciation for all the support they've received to make this day possible. Thank you, members of class of 2012. Now, please welcome Harvey Mudd College President Maria Clave to the platform.
Well, as we begin this ceremony, let us begin by welcoming our class of 2012, who are, after all, the reason we are here. And let us also recognize our trustees, administration, and faculty for their involvement in Harvey Mudd College, which makes today's ceremony possible. We will now award the Henry T. Mudd Prize. In 1992, the college began a tradition of recognizing, during commencement, one who has contributed greatly to the generations of students and to Harvey Mudd College. The first recipient of the Henry T. Mudd Prize was President Emeritus, Professor Emeritus, and Trustee Emeritus, Joe Platt. By tradition, the selection of the awardee is done in secret, and the recipient is not informed until we announce the prize at commencement. The honorary will receive a $4,000 award, $2,000 of which is designated for use within the college at the discretion of the awardee. The citation reads, "For his extraordinary service to Harvey Mudd College spanning over 2.5 decades, during which he served with wisdom, kindness, collegiality, passion, and expertise." Okay, still a lot of possible candidates. "For his creativity and passion for teaching, and for his leadership in developing interdisciplinary courses sought after by many students, combining his love for literature with STEM education." For serving on countless administrative committees, including the Presidential Search Committee, the Strategic Planning Committee, and the WASP Steering Committee. For his energetic leadership and creative approach on a great variety of academic program initiatives. For his continued engagement with the alumni, and particularly for the insights he offers before performances both on campus and at regional events. For championing the revisions to the faculty notebook, for his academic leadership, including his service as the last freshman director from which the position of Associate Dean for Academic Affairs was created, as Chair of Humanities and Social Sciences for 4 years, and most recently as Chair of the Faculty from 2007 until 2010. An individual who has served with distinction both this college and the greater community of higher education, Jeffrey D. Groves, Professor of Literature, is hereby designated the 212 recipient of the Henry T. Mudd Prize. Well, the script says, Jeff, would you like to say a few words?
I don't know, I haven't done this before. Yes, I'd like to say a few words. This is a real honor, and I feel it from the heart. It feels like I've been at Harvey Mudd a long time. I think I have, and the college has been a great professional home for me. This has been a great fit for my career. I get to teach students like the ones that are sitting out here, really creative, outstanding, challenging students. I've felt the support throughout my career of the staff, of the administration and the trustees. And the greatest joy for me personally of all is to be a part of a really outstanding and creative faculty. And you know, when you take those things and hold them in your hands and look at them, it makes service not seem like a duty or something that's prescribed by the faculty notebook, but really a pleasure. It's easy to give back to this college. So thank you very much for this. It means a lot.
I would now like to introduce our speaker from the graduating class. Chris Beavers is a computer science major from Austin, Texas. When he's not programming, Chris enjoys rock climbing, riding his motorcycle, reading 20th century British literature, and watching teen dramas. Since coming to Harvey Mudd, Chris made the Dean's List every year and served as dorm president. He ranks as the 73rd best player in the world at the not-so-popular iPhone game Bike or Die. Who knew? After graduation, Chris will move to the Bay Area to begin work at LinkedIn with their distributed data systems team. Please join me in welcoming our senior speaker, Chris Beavers.
Surprise, Mom. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers without whom none of us could have been born. Every single commencement speech I've ever heard, all two of them, have done nothing but compliment the graduating students. You guys are so brilliant. You guys are going to change the world. But I'm not here to inflate your egos. I've spent 4 years with you guys, and it is incredibly obvious to me that you know that you're brilliant. You don't need someone to stand on stage and spend your last moments at Harvey Mudd College smothering you in blandishments. So instead of doing that, I have a far more important, far more radical message that I want you all to remember when you leave here today. You are stupid. At this point, many of you may be asking yourselves, why has Chris Beavers been given a microphone and the opportunity to berate me in front of my friends and family? So perhaps I should rephrase or reframe my intent. When you stand on this stage in just a few moments, you'll be given a diploma that you can show the world that proves that you're brilliant. You'll have something that you can frame and put behind your desk and continually pat yourself on the back about, and in that regard, it will be incredibly easy to remember your time at this school as a complete success. But what I think is more important, what I think is all too easy to forget, is that at some point in the last 4 years, there has been a time when you have all felt hopelessly stupid. If there hasn't, I'd invite you to spend the next 5 minutes napping and the next 40 years walking on water. If you're still with me, I'd like to try to convince you why feeling stupid is valuable, and for the parents here today, why it was an experience worth $50,000 a year. I'd like to begin with a cautionary tale about a boy who, for a long time, never knew what it felt like to be stupid. Let's call this boy Chris. Rewind all the way back to Algebra 2 in high school, over half a decade ago. Chris gets his first double-digit test score. He reads his answer, double-checks his math, and raises his hand. He stands up, walks to the board, and proves mathematically that the teacher is wrong and he should get his precious 2 points back. She looks at the math, concludes that Chris is right, and humbly regathers the tests to regrade them. Chris leaves the room thinking that he's an infallible super genius, and everyone else leaves the room thinking that Chris is an ass. Fast forward to Chris's sophomore year at Harvey Mudd College. This same boy, now a grown man, is confronted with an exam that seems like it came from a totally different class. His superhuman brain is like Windows ME trying to open more than 3 programs, one of which is Space Pinball. His studying didn't matter, his note sheet didn't help at all, and no matter how brilliant he once thought himself, he has just been proved totally incorrect. And do you know what happens to grown men who have not grown to think themselves capable of complete stupidity? Confronted with the possibility, they break down in tears at their desk, crying like a little baby. Chris just sat at his desk, sobbing, incapable of understanding how an answer could possibly elude him. That's right, parents. The tests here are so hard that your children will cry if they can't understand that they can occasionally be stupid. I have a surprise for you folks, one that will no doubt shock everyone in attendance here today. I am Chris. I was that snot-nosed little brat who just had to prove his teacher wrong, and I was that grown man crying like a baby because I had no idea how to proceed in a test. You may be wondering, am I ashamed of this today? The answer, of course, is yes, I am deeply ashamed of this today. I embarrassed myself horrendously in both of those situations because I simply couldn't understand or cope with the possibility that I was, if only circumstantially, stupid. I hope that the value of this story speaks for itself, but I want to reiterate it explicitly in the context of our graduation. We're about to get our diplomas and step out into a world full of what we may be tempted to call stupid people. We are about to be given opportunity upon opportunity to prove ourselves superior in intellect and to fall into the trap of thinking ourselves inescapably brilliant. But don't give in. Don't forget to always at least entertain the possibility that it might be you who is wrong or is stupid, because if you keep living your life like high school Chris, who knows who you'll eventually break down in tears in front of. I said that this was a lesson worth $50,000 a year, but maybe I haven't yet convinced you. Maybe every parent here wants their child to continue being a know-it-all their whole life, and I'm totally off my mark. If that's the case, then I'd like to make the point that the only way that your child can indeed know it all is to occasionally feel stupid. Allow me to explain. It took me almost 4 years to realize the value of the core education here. I spent the better part of 3 years wondering what was the point of forcing me to take chemistry or to take 12 humanities courses, 5 of which had to be at Mudd in 3 distributions with God knows how many possible subdistributions. But I finally figured it out. I finally know why we had to take all of those random difficult classes. I finally learned the secret, and I'd love to share it with you guys today. The point of our core education is to make us feel stupid in as many different ways as possible. This is because every time you feel stupid in a new discipline, you invite the possibility to overcome that stupidity. You often don't really force yourself to learn until you find within yourself a feeling of stupidity that you simply must overcome. Often this comes during finals week. So to return to the beginning of my speech, I just want to say that you guys are brilliant. You aren't brilliant at everything, which I hope by now you'll concede is okay, but you aren't just brilliant at your major. You're brilliant in many different ways because you spent 4 years learning how to adapt to and overcome stupidity in any discipline that is seemingly arbitrarily required of you. By surviving core, you have learned the most valuable lesson of all, how to pursue knowledge despite your own stupidity. That is, after all, how you vanquish stupidity itself, and that is a lesson worth every cent that you, or perhaps your parents, paid for it. I'd invite you to challenge yourselves to continue to feel stupid after you leave here today. I'd invite you to embrace stupidity. I'd invite you to use it to recognize your own shortcomings and to fight as hard as you can to overcome them. When you settle into a job or perhaps a more specific discipline in grad school, try not to limit yourself only to the problems that you feel most capable of taking on, and never stop trying to learn new things. Try to ride a unicycle, memorize pi out to 10,000 digits, or perhaps date a girl from Pitzer who knows far more about politics than you could ever hope to keep up with. If you're not feeling stupid, you're doing something wrong. If you're still not convinced that it's valuable to force yourself to feel stupid, I'd like once more to prove mathematically that I'm right. Suppose, by way of contradiction, that to feel stupid does not mean that there is some way in which you could strive to become smarter. The completion of this proof is left as an exercise to the listeners. If you have no idea what I just said, then I've just given you a puzzle which I think you can learn from solving, proving my original point anyway. Or alternatively, if you've seen an error in my proof or think I'm just generally an idiot, well, looking stupid isn't always the worst thing. I'd like to close with a quote that is often attributed to Socrates, because really, what commencement speech would be complete without one? I know only that I know nothing. Now, what's particularly interesting about this quote is that it actually occurs nowhere in Plato's account of Socrates and has been shot down time and time again by scholars who say, and I quote, "This paradoxical formulation is a clear misreading of Plato." So whoever was the first person to attribute this quote to Socrates clearly did in fact know nothing, and everyone who's used it since has also been totally wrong. And of course, I'm an idiot too, because I just found this on Wikipedia a couple days ago. I could have misread it, or it could have just been complete garbage, and now I'm relaying it to the largest audience I've ever personally addressed. But that's all right, because after 4 years at Mudd, if nothing else, I'm completely comfortable admitting the fact that I know only that I know nothing. And I can't tell you how good that feels. Thanks.
Well, it's really nice to know that it's okay to be stupid, since that's the way I get up every morning. Thank you, Chris. That was truly wonderful. Now it is with great pleasure that I welcome back to campus our 54th commencement speaker, Bill S. Nye, aka Bill Nye, the Science Guy. Scientist, engineer, comedian, author, and inventor, and my own good friend, Bill Nye defines his mission as helping to foster a scientifically literate society and helping people everywhere understand and appreciate the science that makes our world work. He also advocates we leave the world better than we found it, which means, as he puts it, sometimes you gotta pick up someone else's trash. Bill earned his Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering at Cornell University, and I'll just say he arrived on campus wearing a Cornell bow tie, which was quickly replaced, of course, with a Harvey Mudd College bow tie. And after graduation, worked as an engineer at Boeing in Seattle, Washington. In Seattle, he combined his love of science with his flair for comedy when he won the Steve Martin Look-alike contest and developed dual careers as an engineer by day and a stand-up comic by night. Before he became a full-time educator/entertainer, he was an engineer who designed oil well logging instruments, an inertial navigation system for business jets, equipment for oil slick skimming at sea, and a hydraulic pressure resonance suppressor that is still flying on Boeing 747s. So he was a pretty damn good engineer. Eventually, he quit his engineering day job and made the transition to comedy writer and performer on Seattle's homegrown ensemble comedy show where Bill Nye the Science Guy was born. While working on the Science Guy program, Bill won 7 national Emmys for writing, performing, producing, and the program won 28 Emmys in 5 years. In between creating the shows, he wrote 4 kids' books about science. His 5th book, Bill Nye's Great Big Book of Tiny Germs, was published in 2005. Bill serves as CEO of the Planetary Society, the world's largest space interest group. He remains a licensed mechanical engineer in the state of Washington and has 2 patents on educational products and more pending. He holds 3 honorary doctorate degrees from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, Goucher College, and Johns Hopkins. Bill is currently host of 3 television series: The 100 Greatest Discoveries on the Science Channel, The Eyes of Nye on PBS, and Stuff Happens on Planet Green. For his newest project, Solving for X, Bill will show viewers how to do algebra while sharing the passion, beauty, and joy, you got that, passion, beauty, and joy, which he terms the P, B, and J of math. Okay, enough with the commercials. Please join me in welcoming our good friend and a great friend to science, Bill Nye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. That was fantastic. We deeply appreciate the work that you do, sparking interest in science and the environment in changing the world. And I certainly hope that the class takes that call to heart. Yesterday, the Board of Trustees received a resolution from the faculty to grant degrees to members of this class of 2012. I'm happy to say that the board approved the resolution unanimously. And I now call upon Robert Cave, Dean of the Faculty, to present the candidates.
Will the Bachelor of Science degree candidates of the class of 2012 please rise? Mr. Chairman, on behalf of the faculty of Harvey Mudd College, it is my great pleasure to present the candidates who have successfully completed the requirements for the degree of Bachelor of Science.
Therefore, upon recommendation of the faculty and the Board of Trustees of Harvey Mudd College, I hereby confer on you the degree of Bachelor of Science with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
Rochelle Owen Bartholomew. Christopher Abella. Philip Alion Moss. Thomas J. Aldrich. Eric Kevin Elshire. Callie Allison. Noah Elias Otwi. Christopher Raymond Beavers. Kathleen Jennifer Bennett. Kevin Michael Black. Brianna Rose Blanchard. John F. Bremseth. Ryan Brewster. Margaret Grace Breyer. Matthew Damian Brown. William Matthew Buick. Craig Burkhart. Isabel Bush. Trevor Caldwell. Alex I. Chan. William Chen. Jung Hyuk Choi. Brian Chow. Jinhua Chun. Kimberly Lynn Chung. Daniel Soliski. Cameron Conti. Richard Anthony Coronado. Adam Cozzetti. Matthew G. Davis. Mira Davila Shin. Lillian DeGrief. Julian Devon. Winnie Ding. Theodore Bratton Dubose. Noah Duncan. Lori K. Egan. Mark C. Ellis. Harris Ennis. Patrick Clark Eschenfeld. Samuel Joseph Ettinger. Sarah Morgan Ferraro. Chelsea Rose Fishbach. Samantha Lee Fisher. Gregory V. Fong. Daniel Alexander Heitman Furlong. Aaron Sparks Gable. Leif Michael Gabler. Renee K. Gittins. David Golay. Evan Ramona Gonzalez. Maximilian Luis Gonzalez. Ozzy Guin. William J. Grable. John Graysel. Gwendolyn Susan Groover. Bonnie Guang. Alexander Parker Hall. Lindsay Grace Hall. Un Young Haley Ham. Nagiko Haro. Kirby Haraguchi. Hayden Alexander Moses Hatch. Catherine Michelle Hawley. Curtis Roland Heberly. Karen Naya Heinzelman. Nicholas William Hill. Keiko Marie Hironaka. Andrew Hui Ho. Paul McDill Hobbs. Robert Alexander Hoyt. Jennifer Iglesias. Andrew Michael Jennings. Benjamin Todd Jones. Alexa Lynn Kaiser. Benson Cow. David King. Simeon Sung Woo Ko. Amy C. Kanza. Malus Kazarian. William E. S. Coven. Julie Kraus. Jessica S. Carrata. Stephen Leonard Kwong. Sean Joseph Laguna. Harry Daggett Lenahan. Alyssa Kathleen Leonard. Craig Philip Levin. Stephanie Alexandra Levins. Joyce Joshing Lin. Catherine Lingle. Benjamin Liu. Leon Liu. Calvin Alexander Lunkarik. Stephen Judd Lowry. Catherine Elizabeth Lounsbury. Daniel G. Lubarov. Dylan Owen Mariner. Camille Marie Marvin. Stephanos U.G. Matsumoto. Tynan Reed Kritzik McCauley. Allie Ray McDonald. Palmer Mebin. Beatrice Oyomre Metatiri. Samuel Donald Meyer. Joseph H. Min. Eric Mullen. Emily Myers Stanhope. Sristi Nayak. Dalar Nazarian. Michael Joseph Navarez. Jackson Robert Newhouse. Adam Matthew Novak. Alexa Rose Noxon. Colin Richard O'Byrne. Scott Ogilvie. Oliver Martin Ortlieb. Thea Rose Osinski. Sean Pacheco. Vincent Pye. James Christopher Parks. Alice J. Paul. Alyssa Corinne Paulson. Nikki Peck. Stuart Anthony Pernsteiner. Richard Samuel Porzak. Aaron P. Prabati. Mira Punjia. Emily Ann Putnam. Johnson Q. Kim Quach. Fahmi Kadir. Dhruv Ranganathan. Elena Rao. Evan Lowell Reed. Matthew Aaron Richmond. Paul Leslie Riggins. Kevin Robert Riley. Ethan T. Ritz. John Wesley Robinson. Wiley Nevins Rosenthal. Alexander J. Ross. Joshua Chase Rowe. Louis Joseph Ryan. Salil Shram. Kristen Lee Shunter. Kimberly K. Sheely. Vincent Wensong Xie. Sarah Scholes. Kylie Rebecca Sobel. Brian Daniel So. Jeep Vilasak Sisak Nimit. Mary Elizabeth Sullivan. Ethan Michael Suska. Rahul Swaminathan. Emma Darlene Taborski. Susan Tan. Maxim Taryn. Fiona Tay. Kevin Tam. Russell Edward Thompson. Susanna Lynn Tudero. Russell N. Transu. Richard Trong. Spencer Tung. Maya Lee Valcarsa. Mary Johanna Van Vliet. Ryan I. Waldman. Edward Wang. Sarah Lauren Workington. Kristen Marie Warren. Brandon Way. Heather Jane Williams. Ryan Williams. Jonathan Whitty. Helen Wu. Anak Yadpinyani. Eric Zhang. Yo-Yo Zhang. Anne Elizabeth Jensen. I'd ask you to join me in once again congratulating the HMC class of 2012. I now call on Chair Malcolm Lewis to deliver a resolution from the Board of Trustees.
Earlier this year, the Harvey Mudd College Board of Trustees approved a recommendation from the faculty to award an honorary doctoral degree. Harvey Mudd College's policy towards such degrees requires first that the candidate must have made a distinguished contribution to the advancement of engineering or science, and secondly, demonstrated a record of contribution to society consonant with the ideals embodied in the Harvey Mudd education. Secondly, the Faculty Reappointment, Promotion, and Tenure Committee recommends the individual and the faculty approve, and finally, the trustees vote the recommendation. Let me read the resolution forwarded from the faculty. In recognition of and in appreciation of R. Michael Shanahan's distinguished service to Harvey Mudd College and to the advancement of undergraduate education in sciences, engineering, and mathematics, and his generous and significant contributions to a wide range of institutional activities, the faculty of Harvey Mudd College hereby approve the awarding to trustee Mike Shanahan of an honorary doctoral degree in engineering, sciences, and humane letters.
Thank you.
We got more to do. Yeah. We've got to do the hood, too. Today we've adding the 13th name to the Distinguished Fellowship of Honorary Doctorates from Harvey Mudd. Upon recommendation of the faculty and the Board of Trustees of Harvey Mudd College, I hereby confer to R. Michael Shanahan the degree of Doctor of Engineering, Science, and Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
The graduates we honor today have achieved a new status at the college, that of Harvey Mudd College alumni. Here to welcome you to that amazing group is John Lelajan, class of 1990, president of the Alumni Association. John.
Congratulations, and welcome to a very special and exclusive club, the ranks of the graduates of Harvey Mudd College. It is my pleasure this afternoon to officially welcome you to the Alumni Association, of which you are now lifetime members. As you explore life after graduation, you will find few organizations with a mission as clear, active, and relevant as that of Harvey Mudd College. All of you have been educated as engineers, scientists, and mathematicians, well-versed in all of these areas, as well as the humanities and the social sciences. You have been taught to lead, and soon you will assume the mantle of leadership in your field of choice with a clear understanding of the impact of your work on society. And I am confident that each and every one of you will rise to the occasion and do this with honor and distinction. But don't feel that you must do it alone. Staying in touch and maintaining a lifelong relationship with Harvey Mudd College is a way to further your progress, both professionally and personally. And I am proud to say that involvement with the Harvey Mudd College Alumni Association is one way to accomplish this. Our organization allows you to keep in contact with your classmates and friends. It allows you to meet, interact, and network with over 5,600 Mudd alums who have gone before you. And it gives each and every one of you the opportunity to give something back and help those students who follow in your footsteps. In addition to the Alumni Association, you may stay connected to Harvey Mudd College through the annual Mudd Fund. By supporting the college financially, goodness, it was an important point too. Multiple speeches in here, that's the problem. My apologies. By supporting the college financially, you ensure that the resources and opportunities that were available to you will be available to future generations of engineers, mathematicians, and scientists. But I want you to remember that supporting your alma mater isn't just about money. It's about being an ambassador for the college. You are the public face of Harvey Mudd College. You are the product of Harvey Mudd College. And you are the future of Harvey Mudd College. Therefore, it is incumbent upon you to help the college continue to fulfill its mission. While this sounds like a daunting task, each of you can do this in a number of different ways. You can help the college recruit new students and ensure that the values and traditions of Harvey Mudd College live on. You can follow Chris Beaver's advice to invite the possibility to overcome stupidity and to never stop learning new things. You can meet alums at regional gatherings and at Alumni Weekend on campus. Socialize, network, and share your personal and professional lives with them. You can embrace the joys of discovery with Bill Nye, find ways to do more with less, and reach for the high-hanging fruit to change the world. And most importantly, you can strive to be the best in the field of your choice. But at the same time, always, I'm going to say this again, always adhere to the principles of the honor code and intellectual honesty, the cores of your Harvey Mudd College education. If you meet, that's fine. If you meet this challenge, you will ensure that what you appreciated most about Harvey Mudd will be available to the next generation of students. And I promise you that by meeting this challenge, you will ensure that your Harvey Mudd experience will last you the remainder of your days. On behalf of the Alumni Association, I want to congratulate you and wish you success. Please keep in touch. We really do want to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you, John. One of the many, many things that I love about Mudd students and Mudd alumni is their commitment to making the world a better place. Now, I just want to point out that I didn't know what Bill Nye was going to talk about, and I didn't know that he was going to talk about making the world a better place, so clearly the world needs to be made a better place. My lifelong passion in this respect is to change the culture of science and engineering so that it is welcoming and supporting to everyone with passion, talent, and dedication, independent of gender, race, sexual orientation, or having other interests. Think poetry, painting, swimming, football. Since coming to Mudd, I've also become passionate about raising the visibility of Harvey Mudd College so that our wonderful educational innovations can have greater impact on students everywhere. So in my remarks today, I will talk about strategies for making change happen. Until I was in my mid-30s, and I hate to tell you that's now 25 years ago, I thought that one's long-term level of achievement and impact was mostly influenced by one's ability, just how smart one was. I was wrong. In my 30s, I realized that if one wants to make progress on a difficult problem, whether in research or in changing the world, the most important elements are, number one, decide to work on the problem. Number two, persist and work hard, especially when success is doubtful. Number three, regularly evaluate your approach and be willing to rethink your strategy. And on top of that, in most cases, it's also important to know how to build teams and alliances, because you can rarely change the world by yourself. Over the past year, another key strategy has become particularly clear to me: the importance of asking for help. 11 months ago, I met with Sheryl Sandberg, the Chief Operating Officer of Facebook, for the first time. I told her about our computer science department's success in increasing the number of female majors, and I asked her for help in making our approaches better known so that other colleges and universities could be equally successful. Sheryl started giving Harvey Mudd College a shout-out every time she talked about women in technology, which was often, to say the least. It was Sheryl doing this that led to the article in Bloomberg Businessweek last fall, followed by articles last month in the New York Times and several other publications, and interviews on PBS, NPR, CNN, Fox News, and Al Jazeera English. When Sheryl had to stop talking to the media because of the upcoming Facebook IPO, Marissa Mayer from Google, last year's commencement speaker, started talking about Harvey Mudd College too. During my interview on PBS NewsHour, I mentioned that I wished there would be a TV series with attractive female computer scientists. I've been wishing this for a long time. I've wished for one with attractive female engineers, attractive female mathematicians, attractive female physicists. Last week, someone called Bob Quinn sent me a screenplay for such a series called Rush. I read it and loved it. And so now I've asked a number of influential people to read the screenplay and see if they're willing to help me get a pilot made. And I'm going to send it to Bill Nye later today. And in case you're wondering, Rush is about a group of people working in a startup in Silicon Valley. It's extremely funny, think Big Bang Theory, and pretty accurate too. Don't think Big Bang. When I attended the White House Forum on Women in the Economy last month, I asked Valerie Jarrett, Senior Advisor to the President, and Cecilia Munoz, Chair of the President's Council on Domestic Policy, for help in raising the visibility of Harvey Mudd College. It turned out, unknowns to me, that Cecilia's brother is a Mudd alum, and he loved his experience here. They both said they'd be happy to arrange for me to give lots of talks to key audiences. Now, every student who attends Harvey Mudd College has outstanding ability. Every single one. The Harvey Mudd College education requires students to learn all of the strategies that I've mentioned in order to succeed. So my advice to the class of 2012 is to keep on doing what you've learned to do. 1, pick important problems to work on. 2, work hard and persist in the face of great difficulty. Oh boy, you know how to do that. 3, regularly reevaluate your strategy and be prepared to make changes. 4, build teams and alliances. And 5, ask for help. Every single one of our class of 2012 is capable of doing great things, and I know that you will indeed do great things. Like everyone else at Mudd, I will miss the students in the class of 2012 enormously. I hope you will send me email. You can also send checks. Come back for Alumni Weekend every year, and I wish you the very best for the future. Congratulations on graduating from Harvey Mudd College, the best science and engineering undergraduate education on the face of the earth. Ladies and gentlemen, the 54th annual commencement ceremony of Harvey Mudd College is now concluded. Will the audience please stand and remain standing while the academic procession exits the site to the east? That's that away. You may follow after the graduates to the reception in the Platt Courtyard back on the Harvey Mudd College campus. Thank you.